Hey, it's Iyada, Vedic astrologer. Since the lunar eclipse on March 25th, we live in a special time frame in which the veil between our current life and our karmic entanglement is very thin. Issues, people, situations, problems may come back into our lives that were important in 2005 and 2006 and may have completely changed the lives of some of us. We are heading with great intensity towards a total solar eclipse that will take place on Monday, April 8th, from 5:40 p.m. to 10:50 p.m. Central European Summer Time, and will move in its totality over the United States, Canada, Mexico, Cuba, Puerto Rico, and the Dominican Republic. The energy of this eclipse is somehow pregnant with a great desire for everlasting harmony and love, closeness, intimacy, bonding, and connection with other people, but above all with the divine, with what is eternal, because the desire is for everlasting bliss. The cosmos offers us a different, more expanded state of consciousness, but we must be able to surrender, to let go. We should find a place where we can spend the 5 hours of the eclipse without looking at the sun. We can stay, of course, at home, but it is also a remarkable moment for a pilgrimage to places that have a special resonance field. Wherever we are, our task is to go within and open our consciousness to the force field of potential without wanting to find, achieve, change, improve, or heal anything specific, but being open to whatever wants to take place. All eclipses are always triggered by Rahu and Ketu, the two lunar nodes that are seen in Vedic astrology as shadow planets and representatives of our subconscious. Their story goes back to the churning of the milk ocean, when Devas on one hand and Asuras on the other hand used the great serpent Vasuki as a rope around Mount Meru to steer the milk ocean of consciousness. The head of the serpent is Rahu, the north node of the moon, and the trunk is Ketu, the south node of the moon. And whenever our consciousness is steered, things that were hidden or suppressed come to the surface, toxic stuff as well as extraordinary gifts. During solar and lunar eclipses, this process that is constantly churned by Rahu and Ketu culminates in the two signs that both nodes transit, actually the sidereal signs of Virgo and Pisces. During the solar eclipse that we are approaching, the new moon and the sun are together with Rahu, the north node of the moon, in the constellation of Revati, in the sidereal sign of Pisces, where also Venus is located. And we must know that the planet of love finds its highest expression in Pisces. Pisces is the last of the 12 sun signs, and Revati is the last of the 27 lunar mansions. The theme of both is the culmination of something, the ending of something. A border must be crossed. We must let go of something. Pisces and Revati indicate endings, the transmigration of the soul, and major changes in our consciousness and lives. What is our attitude towards letting go of things, people, control, and our constant likes and dislikes that make lasting peace and happiness impossible? Jupiter, the ruler of Pisces, and Mercury, who presides over Revati, are the two rulers of the eclipse, and they are together in the sign of sidereal Aries at the time of the eclipse, with Mercury both combust by the Sun and retrograde, which means that he is in a special inward state of rebirth and draws inspiration from Jupiter's wisdom. Here, spiritual knowledge and wisdom come together with our practical intelligence, looking for us for new paths, new experiences, new timelines, and different dimensions of experience. Our guide during this solar eclipse is Pushan, the Vedic god who presides over the constellation of Revati. Revati means ultimate goal, and Pushan is the cosmic guide and divine nurturer who guides the souls after death to their final destiny. But he also leads our soul in life to an ever more luminous development, so that we grow into that which is universal, complete, and infinite. I believe that this solar eclipse is kind of a compass for our soul for the next years, but we must be willing to transcend our own narrowness so that something greater can be revealed to us. Something greater, of course, than the material world of bodies, forms, and things that have great power over us and make us believe that this material world is the only reality because it conceals the more subtle dimensions of existence. Most people live this way, but wherever we are on our spiritual path, our consciousness is always limited. There's always more to discover. There's always more openness possible. But in order to open ourselves up to the infinity of other dimensions of experience, it is important that we no longer allow ourselves to get entangled in or absorbed by the drama of everyday life, but that we seek more and more silence and introspection and are willing to let go of what we consider our identity and normal experience in order to discover the hidden, everlasting reality within. This eclipse opens a portal of major truth and abundance of love that is beyond our previous domain of experience, especially those of us who have important placements, that is our natal moon, sun, ascendant, ruler of the ascendant, our Atmakaraka planet, or our Aruda Lagna in sidereal Pisces or sidereal Virgo, and especially in the lunar mansions of Revati and Hashta, Uttarabhadrapada, Ashvini or Swati, will be hit with full force by this solar eclipse. The more we cling to the known and want to hold on to what seems safe to us, the more painful the change can be that suddenly may come into our lives to open our heart more in whatever way. On the contrary, the more we are able to surrender and to let go of what we think we know, the more we can immerse ourselves in new experiences of unconditional love and of an omniscient intelligence that wants to inspire and guide us from within and change our lives. Pushan, the deity of Revati, is praised in the Vedas as a divine power that is both bright and radiant and inspiring as the day, as it is also lovely, soothing and enchanting as the night, because the Shakti of Revati, the most sattvic of all starry constellations, is the power to nourish our soul, mind and body with milk or nectar. The nectar that is released by the glands in our brain. A nectar that gives us the experience of everlasting bliss. This solar eclipse in Revati has the power to gift us with ever deeper spiritual experiences. It wants to strengthen our intuition and insight, our divine knowledge, and will increase our light and the love that dwells within. Venus, conjunct the solar eclipse, intensifies our desire for connectedness, unity, intimacy, and love, which we perhaps learn to appreciate and deepen in the network of different relationships with other people, for which we may have to give up existing relationships that are not fulfilling for us. Above all, we need to open our hearts more, hearts that may be closed to a certain point because of old hurts and the fear of experiencing new ones. We may be confronted with our difficulty to really let others into our hearts and lives and open ourselves up to more unconditional love. On the other hand, there is the spiritual experience of love. Those of us who have already experienced that kind of love know that it is the experience of being touched by grace, by something sacred and indescribable that transforms us, because we feel that this love dwells within us, that we are this love, and we learn to embody this love more and more. I believe that this love is the most important experience and feeling and state of consciousness, because this love is the essence of our being. Being filled with this love gives us a feeling of safeness that we have always longed for. The goddess who rules over the portion of the zodiac where the eclipse falls in the sky is Bhuvaneshwari, the mother of all creation, the mother of this enormous universal energy field that we experience as the divine matrix in which we live and experience, evolve and wake up to the truth of who we really are. Bhuvaneshwari herself embodies, is this vibrant field of pure love and infinite potential. She is the power that makes our heart beat. She is present in every breath and in the space around us and within. We are never alone because this cosmic Mother Nature always supports, nourishes, and guides us, never judges us, but constantly holds us in her invisible embrace of love and compassion. We must find her, we must cultivate the contact with her, and the world will change when we discover this greater unconditional love and bring it from the other side of the veil into this world that has shaped us for a long time. Yet the condition of the world depends on the changes inside of us if we wish to experience everlasting joy and peace, which is only possible if we are no longer bound by external circumstances or conditions. We must recognize that our worldview and our self-image are limited, and we must let go of and transform our limiting identifications, beliefs, and conditioning in order to grow into this greater love. We will then experience that old wounds of the heart do not longer hurt. I made this experience and it is beautiful. They will no longer trigger more heartache, nor compensatory behaviors, for we are encouraged to truly embrace the essence of our heart and therefore live in a greater truth and reality. This solar eclipse wants to increase the vibrational frequency of our heart space. It encourages us to embrace our divine essence and radiate its light. It is what the world needs most at the moment. But it will inevitably trigger change in our lives because we will have different values and may want to do things differently, live our life in a different way. This is certainly a time for more intense spiritual practice, a time to open our hearts more and more, to leave the old behind and to become more and more present in the heart and in the here and now. We can place an image of Pushan and of Bhuvaneshwari on our altar along with a chalice of fresh water and some flowers, and chant Bhuvaneshwari's heart-opening mantra over and over again, especially during the hours of the eclipse. Om Reem Bhuvaneshwari Jai Namaha. 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 Finally, we should be careful not to fall into an energy that is triggered by Saturn and Mars together in sidereal Aquarius, at the tail of the solar eclipse, so to say. Their conjunction will be exact on Wednesday, April 10th. And this energy is negative, critical, and can also become aggressive and chaotic because we may think out of mental narrowness and resulting anger that we are not making enough use of this special moment in time. We may push ourselves too hard instead of surrendering and experience perhaps how hard it is to love ourselves and others unconditionally. We should observe this and not fall into this trap. Much love to all of you. See you soon.